First of all, just start out with telling us a little bit about your background and about yourself.
Sure. I am been a family lawyer all my career, 37 years. I was a district judge for 21 years and have used that as part of kind of my experience and what I've done over my entire career.
What changes do you want to bring to the position?
Well, the good news is Judge Moore, who is retiring at the end of this year. He runs a really good shop. He has been very successful in the operation of his court. I don't know that there's any changes. I've practiced all over the state. I've practiced in every circuit court here in Pulaski County. I don't know that there's any changes that'll be made other than I'd like to see some changes internally, i.e., I think what a judge needs to do more than anything that helps this position is to work his docket, to stay on top of the docket, make sure the cases are being moved in an orderly and timely fashion. Use mediation. I think we ought to use mediation limited in some cases, but in a way that's productive for the litigants. And third thing probably would be to make sure that people are abiding by the orders of the court, make them be accountable to the court. And finally, we have a lot of pro se litigants, and sometimes some people have lawyers, some people don't. Some people have lawyers in a case and the other party doesn't. I think courts can make sure that even though you don't have an attorney, that there's not going to be orders entered that are one-sided against the person that doesn't have an attorney.
Okay, and compassion is a big thing with judges now. How do you want to implement more of that?
Well, understand these are family law courts. All four of the positions that are in 6.2, which deal with family law. 85% of the cases that Judge Moore has and that I'll have, assuming if I'm fortunate enough to be elected, are family law cases. 15% are probate. The number one issue in my mind as far as family law courts go is you've got to protect the children. They're the most precious asset that this community has, that the families have, and so everything that this court should do is focus on what's in the child's best interest. Years I've been doing this, obviously, and watch litigants use children as pawns in a divorce. And that can't happen. We've got to protect our young people, because what happens and where they get to go or where they go when a divorce is final will have an impact on them for the rest of their lives, and we've got to get it right. And so the passion or the concern that I have for young people that are going through a divorce is tantamount. It's paramount to what I'm going to do. We can talk about all day long about dividing property. That's going to be done, but we've got to protect our children.
Why do you think people don't pay enough attention to judicial races?
One, judges it's a nonpartisan race, and so therefore there's no D or R by your name. And really, if people would do their homework, they could find out a lot about candidates. The good news is I've talked to a lot of people over the last few months, and there are people out there that actually do that. And I encourage everyone to go do your homework and find out about the candidates, about what they've done, and you can get a good gauge. But the reason why I think people don't engage in these races is because it's not sexy. You don't get out and make campaign promises. What you do is you get out and hopefully people will see where you've been, where you're going to go, and what you're going to do when the time comes to make decisions about families in Pulaski and Perry County.
Okay. Do you think judges should be active in the community?
Absolutely. You can't believe the impact that one person can have, especially on young people. I coached my son's athletic teams and coached baseball and basketball and football, and what you find is the impact that one person can have on a youngster who may be having trouble at home, maybe he's come from a broken family, and to see the impact, the positive impact someone can have, one person can have on the lives of young people. And I encourage all of our judges, and we've got some good examples of that right now in Pulaski County. I encourage you to be out and let people know that it's more than just wearing a robe.
What role should judges play in educating people on basic law functions and court procedure?
Well, the good news is we already have that kind of in place. We have Law Week. The Pulaski County Bar Association does Law Week and has many programs. We have our call-a-thons where people can call in and ask lawyers any question they want to ask them about any subject that dealing with the law. So we have Law Week that tries to educate the public. But I think that what I'd like to see done, and partner with schools, bring the children in and let them sit in the courtroom with you. Let them ask questions about how the system works, how your court is operated. It's not so much in family law and probate I would like to have some class come in and watch a trial, because I'm not sure that's really what they should be doing, but they at least need to come in so that family court touches so many lives. You talk about schools coming in, probably 75 or 80% of those students have either their parents are going through a divorce, they've got a friend whose parents are going through a divorce. They need to understand the process. And I think starting at a young age and letting these children come in, these young people come in and talk about the process. That way when they have to interact with the court, it's not a mystery to them anymore. And I'd love to see more judges do that. Let the public come in and let's just have a sit down and talk about what the court's all about.
Okay, so I'm just Sally on the street. Don't know anything about this race. Just sell me on you.
Well, we can talk about experience. We can talk about the fact that I have dealt with family law for 37 years. People have literally, they walk in your office and they put their lives, not only their lives, but the lives of their children in your hands. And I've done that for over 3 decades. I think that it gives me the proper perspective that we can make decisions that are what's in the best interest of the children. I've been asked to sit in circuit court in these very courts that we're running for, making decisions about on families and custody. I've said on the Supreme Court, I've been appointed to the Supreme Court as a special justice, and like I say, 21 years of dealing with domestic violence and how that affects families. Because at the end of the day, Shaylin, it's about the children, and that's the most important thing that this court will ever do, is make sure that the children are placed in the proper place, whether it be with mom or dad, but more importantly, the impact that that decision will have on the future of that child, because it'll stay with them the rest of their life.